Alright guys, in today's video, my plan for my mini cut, pretty much how I'm going to lose body fat over the next 14 days, so let's dive right into today's video. And before talking about my personal plan, first and foremost, let's talk about what a mini cut actually is. And to understand what a mini cut is, you first of all have to know what a cut is. A cut or a dieting phase is pretty much a period of time in a caloric deficit in which the main goal is to lose body fat. The typical length of a standard cut will be roughly in between about 8 and 16 weeks for most people, in which the first couple of weeks the amount of body fat lost is going to be the greatest. Then for the majority of the cut, the amount of body fat you lose is going to be at an acceptable rate, and then for the last couple of weeks it's going to be very hard to lose further body fat. But at that point in time, if you actually lose body fat because you are so lean, it is going to look quite a lot different. And so as you guys probably can ascertain from my explanation, it obviously becomes harder to lose more body fat the more body fat you have lost already. And with that being said, what is a mini cut? A mini cut simply is a very short dieting phase in which you're pretty much only gonna go through the first couple of weeks, the most productive part of your cut, which then usually works out to be about 2 up to 4 weeks of being in a deficit once again to lose body fat. This is a very good idea for people that don't have that much body fat to lose or simply don't want to commit to a full dieting phase. For people that are relatively lean already, usually when they're bulking or lean bulking, to pretty much get rid of a little bit of body fat before then going back into a gain-taining or a gain phase. So now that we know what a mini cut is, now we can actually talk about why I am doing one. And the reason that I'm gonna go on a mini cut for the next 2 weeks is simply because I want to lose a little bit of body fat. And why only a mini cut and not a full dieting phase? Pretty much because at this point in time I'm relatively lean. I don't have that much body fat to lose, and on top of that I feel like I want to use this summer to get a lot stronger, in which it makes sense to be on maintenance calories or in a slight surplus. So the next few weeks for me is pretty much just a quick dieting phase to get rid of some body fat before then going back onto maintenance calories for the rest of the summer. And why do I want to lose body fat? Obviously, part one is obviously like because of physical appearance. Now, that is not the main reason, because like if you actually follow my channel for a little bit longer than today, you guys will know that I'm quite a lot into like the performance part of training and not necessarily like the physical appearance part of training. And that is also the main reason that I'm actually going to do this mini cut. It is for performance goals. If you are training calisthenics or any kind of bodyweight training, it makes sense to be as lean as possible, because pretty much any body fat you have is going to hold you back when you're doing your bodyweight exercises, especially things like one-arm pull-ups, front lever, planche work, pretty much all the things that I'm currently training at this current point in time. So the main reason for this mini cut is pretty much to lose a bit of body fat to pretty much allow me to make more progress over this coming few months on my bodyweight exercises. And now that we quickly covered those two things, now let's go into the main part of today's video, aka my personal plan for this mini cut for the next 14 days. A little bit of a side note, this plan is individual and is strictly based on my personal maintenance calories and is for myself and myself only. So what I am about to talk about is going to be strictly for me. However, if you want to set up your own mini cut, the same principles actually apply. So let's go into the numbers. For the next 2 weeks, my maintenance calories are going to be at around 3,400 calories every single day. That is me going to the gym 5 times a week, doing 5 sessions, also going to the gym back and forth on a bike, and also taking my bike to go to work every single day for 40 minutes to get there and then 40 minutes back. And so for this mini cut, I have to put myself in a caloric deficit, and there are 2 main ways to actually do this. First and foremost, obviously eat less, and second of all, obviously expend more through activity, aka cardio, of just simply doing more activity throughout the day. Now what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to eat less, simply because I'm already doing well over 1.5 hours a day on a bicycle to get back and forth from the gym and back and forth to work, so it makes absolutely no sense to add additional cardio on top of that, because it simply would be way too much. So for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be eating 2,800 calories every single day, which then makes our deficit about 600 calories on a day-to-day basis. Now for a lot of people that actually might be quite aggressive, because you know, when you're cutting, the main goal should be to lose as much body fat as possible on the highest amount of calories possible, aka lose as much body fat as possible on the smallest deficit possible. Because the amount of time in a deficit is going to be quite low, you can actually get away with a more aggressive deficit, because you simply won't have any negative effects from a very aggressive deficit, because it simply is not maintained for long periods of time. The plan is to, after 14 days, reevaluate, see where I'm at, see how much body fat I've actually lost, and see if I'm actually happy with my progress, and if I want to go for longer, stronger, I can, but I probably won't though, for reasons mentioned earlier on in today's video. And now let's talk about my training. My training is going to stay the exact same as it currently is. So pretty much if it comes to all my resistance training, nothing is going to change in that aspect. The only thing that is going to change is a lower caloric intake. And if it comes to my expectations, I have absolutely no idea what to expect from this mini cut, because it simply is the first time in my training career that I've actually put myself intentionally in a deficit, because over the last 4 years I have been eating at maintenance or in slight surplus, because the main goal was obviously as a beginner to build up your body, build muscle mass and get stronger, in which case it makes a lot more sense to be at maintenance or in a surplus. But obviously, as you guys know, the last year was quite a weird year, quite a lot of time in lockdown, and not gonna lie guys, I definitely have accumulated some body fat whilst in lockdown, because obviously I had nothing else to do and discipline was slacking. So yeah, probably overweight quite a lot during lockdown. In about 14 days I'm probably going to upload a 2-week body transformation, pretty much talking about all the results of this mini cut, so stay tuned for that video. But for now, like and subscribe if you guys haven't already. If you guys have any more video ideas, questions or any advice, down below in the comment section is for you to put it. Follow me on Instagram and I'll see you guys in the next video, as always on a Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday, 3 videos a week, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Laters.